Hi everyone, welcome back to Falcon's House. This is the Lost Watch Vlog, Season 5, Episodes 4 and 5. Once again, I am using Wikipedia as a source. In late 2007, Kate leaves Aaron in the care of Sun in order to confront the attorney, Dan Norton, who is pursuing a maternity test against her for care of Aaron. Sun receives a package with a gun and pictures of Ben and Jack. Norton tells Kate that he is going to meet her client later, and Kate decides to follow him. Meanwhile, Ben meets up with Jack and Saeed at the hospital. An orderly armed with a tranquilizer gun attacks Saeed, but Saeed is able to overpower him. And when he finds Kate's address in his wallet, he, Ben, and Jack suspect that Kate is the next target. The three of them decide to split up, with Jack going after Kate and Saeed and Ben going to the prison where Hurley is being held. Jack and Kate follow Norton to a motel where he meets with Claire's mother. Once Norton leaves, Jack confronts Carol, who is in Los Angeles only to collect on a successful suit against Oceanic Airlines and has nothing to do with the maternity test. At the prison, Ben meets with Norton, who is also acting as Hurley's lawyer, and is confident that he can have Hurley released the following morning. Ben and Saeed meet up with Jack and Kate, where Kate figures out that Ben has hired Norton to do the maternity test, while Sun, armed with a gun, watches the conversation from a car with Aaron. I'm not sure exactly what Ben's angle is with all this. Why does he want Aaron taken away? Unless he needs to separate them so Kate can go back to the island without Aaron. But Aaron was born on the island, so I don't really see, I think he's one of the Oceanic Six, so I don't see why Ben would want him not to go back. Following the latest time jump at the end of the previous episode, Jughead, Charlotte is still unconscious. She eventually wakes up, and the group with her, Daniel, Miles, Locke, and Sawyer and Juliet, leave to travel to the Dharma Initiative Orchid Station, where Locke believes he can find a way to leave the island. During the course of the episode, several others begin to show similar symptoms to Charlotte's. Daniel informs them that the nosebleeds may have something to do with one's time spent on the island. I think it actually has more to do with the time jumps. It's similar to the way that the mind jump thing happened with Desmond and how it caused issues with that when he wasn't locked in place. The latest time jump has brought the group to November 1st, 2004, the day of Aaron's birth, an event that Sawyer witnesses, and the death of Boone. Another time jump brings them to the future, at their beach camp where they find a canoe which they use to paddle to the other side of the island. They are attacked by unknown assailants, and another jump brings them to 1988. In the middle of a storm that caused the French science teams, led by Robert and his pregnant wife Danielle Rousseau, to run aground on the island. The island seems to be jumping to points that are important to the island and not just random days in time. So it seems to either be aware or there's something bigger going on here that's controlling the jumps to put it in the right time, so they can witness important events. In their emergency raft, the Rousseaus find Jin unconscious, floating on flotsam from the freighter that exploded. They land on the island and question Jin after he wakes up. The episode ends with Danielle revealing her identity to a befuddled Jin. I'm really happy that Jin's alive, though I wasn't really ever convinced that he was dead. It was just too convenient that they left it up in the air the way they did. On the island, following the events of the previous episode, the latest time jump, which has brought the survivors to 1988, Jin and Rousseau's team go in search of a radio tower that is broadcasting the numbers. They are attacked by the smoke monster, which kills Nadine and drags into a tunnel that leads to a temple, severing his arm in the process. Robert Rousseau and their other team members, Brennan and Lacombe, follow him in the tunnel, while Jin is able to convince a pregnant Danielle to stay behind. Another time jump brings Jin forward 2 months in time. He first encounters the recently killed bodies of Brennan and Lacombe. He then witnesses Danielle confronting her lover Robert because she believes the rest of her team has become infected with what's inside the temple. Each of them has a gun pointed at the other. Robert convinces her that they should lower their weapons, then raises his and pulls the trigger. The gun does not fire, as Danielle has removed a firing pin from it, just like when she had Saeed captured and he had tried to fire it and had the same issue. But it does seem like, potentially, that something is going on with her team, and she was right about them having an issue. Like, why would he just try to kill her otherwise? She also attempts to kill Jin, but another time shift occurs and Jin is reunited with the other survivors. The group is on their way to the Dharma Initiative Orchid Station, where Locke believes that he can find a way to leave the island to attempt to bring back the Oceanic Six. Several time jumps occur, and Charlotte becomes so ill that she must stay behind, with Daniel choosing to stay with her. She tells Jin to keep his wife away from the island, saying, "This place is death." She tells Locke to look for a well if the Orchid Station is not there. Later she confesses to Daniel that she grew up on the island, and that before she left, a man told her never to come back, or she would die. She believes that Daniel is that man. She dies right after that. The other survivors arrive at the location of the orchid and find the well. Jin tells Locke to tell Sun that he has died, and gives Locke his wedding ring as proof, because he does not want Sun or their child to return to the island. While descending the well, another flash occurs and Locke falls and injures his leg, resulting in an open fracture. Driving in the frozen chamber with the wheel that Ben used to move the island in, there is no place like home, Jack's deceased father, Christian Shepherd, greets Locke and tells him he meant for Locke to move the island in the first place. Locke then pushes the wheel and leaves the island. And this explains how Locke got off the island and was able to do all these other things with the other people in the future, that why he was there and acting weird and died off the island or whatever. In late 2007, Sun confronts Ben during his meeting with Kate, Jack, and Saeed. She intends to kill him. However, he reveals to her that Jin is still alive on the island. She reluctantly agrees to go with him and Jack to another location where he can substantiate his claims. They go to a church where Ben shows Jin's wedding ring, which Ben took from Locke as proof that Jin is alive. Of course, this is exactly what Jin didn't want to happen. He wanted Sun to not go back. Desmond arrives at the church in search of the mother of Daniel Faraday, Eloise Hawking. The four go inside the church, where Eloise is disappointed that Ben did not bring back the rest of the Oceanic Six. Desmond actually met her previously when she explained how time travel works, so she definitely seems to know a lot more. My wife always called her the Time Fairy. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share with other Lost fans.